All right, everybody. So this was the solving practice that we did in class, working on trying to find the solutions to a quadratic equation. I'm only going to do a couple of these in this video, so it doesn't go too long. But you're also going to notice what the connection is between the solution to the equation and the graph that's given to you. So on the first one, I'm seeing a minus 4. So the opposite of minus 4 is plus 4, leaving me with x squared equals 4. Then if you want, you can draw the square root symbol to show your work. Or if you want to just jump to the answer of saying x is equal to 2 or x is equal to negative 2, you can jump right to the answer there. Negative 2 is a square root of 4 because negative 2 times itself makes 4. Every positive number, when you take the square root, has two different answers. So a lot of times I'll just say, what are the square roots of 4? Just to remind you that positive numbers have two different values, two different square roots. I want you to notice that those numbers are actually the points of intersection for my parabola and my line right there. So x equals 2 is where it hits the line on the right. X equals negative 2 is where it hits the line on the left. Because parabolas have that symmetry to them, you're usually going to see two solutions. Not always, but usually. Scooting on down, I'll skip the second problem and go to the third problem because I noticed a lot of people had a hard time with it. There we go. So if I look at negative x squared plus 25 equals 0, two different ways I could do it. One way is just trying to follow the process. Minus 25 to get rid of plus 25. So negative x squared is equal to negative 25. Or and then I divide both sides by negative 1 to switch it to positive x squared equals positive 25. Then I take the square root of 25 and I get x is equal to negative 5 and x is equal to positive 5. So again, the solutions are the x coordinates where the graph touches the line. And the other way I could have done this problem, by the way, is on my first step, I could have done plus x squared, and that would have left me with 25 equals x squared, which is the same as x squared equals 25. We're not doing inequalities, so you don't have to worry about what side your variable's on or anything. It's the same. X squared equals 25, and 25 equals x squared. Question 2 is a good theoretical question. Is it possible for a quadratic equation to have no solutions? And we just identified that the intersection points are the solutions. So here's a solution, here's a solution. So is it possible to draw a parabola and a line that doesn't touch it? Absolutely. If the vertex is above the line for a smiley face, or if the vertex is below the line for a frowny face, then you're going to have no solutions. So sliding on down the backside, I'll do one of these ones on the backside. Come on, scroll down. There we go. One of these ones on the backside, and just noticing same sort of things here. So I'm looking at this, and when there's a lot more operations there, it's easy to get mixed up and forget what order to go in. Remember that because we're solving, what we're doing is reversing operations. So I just wrote our order of operations, but I wrote it backwards because we're reversing them. So the opposite of minus 4 is plus 4. That's the first thing I do because adding or subtracting is the last thing in the order of operations. So adding 4 gets rid of minus 4. Adding 4 gets me up to 8. Then I divide both sides by 2, and I get x minus 3 squared is equal to 4. Then I take the square root. So first I did subtract or add by doing plus 4. Then I do divide or multiply by doing divide by 2. Next I'll do exponents, which includes taking the square root. If I take the square root of 4, I'm just going to take up space here. The square root of 4, like we just talked about, is a number times itself that makes 4. So it could equal positive 2, or the parentheses could equal negative 2. Notice that the last step in SADMAP is dealing with the parentheses. And so the parentheses equal positive 2 or the parentheses equal negative 2. And the way you deal with the parentheses is by doing plus 3 on each side like that. So that leaves me with x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 1, which again are the points of intersection between the line and the graph. Okay, so it's really important that you practice this. This is new for you, and this is really important that you practice the SADMAP order and making connections between the graphs and the equations. This is a big chunk of work that we're going to be using for the next several weeks of class. So comment or ask questions if there's anything else I can do.